In this video, we're going to discuss Chapter 1.3, Properties. I want to start by showing you the book and how they showed you the properties. The first is the commutative property, which talks about moving numbers around. So for example, 2 plus 3 equals 3 plus 2, or 4 times 3 equals 3 times 4. It's just the idea that numbers can move. So for example, if you think of the word commute, someone going to and from work, it's the same idea. You're just moving numbers around in the equation. The associative property talks about grouping numbers using parentheses, and you can see two examples of how you might do that. Notice that the order of the numbers doesn't change. Keep in mind these two properties work for addition and multiplication, but not subtraction and division. And then if you look at the top of the page, there are 3 more properties I want to talk about. Many of these you probably already know, you just don't know them by name. The additive identity property talks about adding a number to 0, and it doesn't change the value of the number. So 8 plus 0 still equals 8. The multiplicative identity talks about multiplying 1 times a number, and it doesn't change the value of a number. So 5 times 1 is still 5. And the multiplicative property of 0 says if you multiply a number times 0, it will equal 0. So 3 times 0 is still 0. All right, let's practice some of these. We'll put them all the way over here. All right, using the associative property to try to solve this, I can't add these two numbers together. So first thing I need to do is get rid of the parentheses. So this would become 3 plus h plus 7. Because the order of operations says I have to solve inside the parentheses first. Now what I want to do is move the 3 and the 7 next to each other, and I'm going to use the commutative property to do that. And then I can put parentheses around the 3 and the 7 to solve them first, which is the associative property, and this becomes 10 plus h. In order to simplify this, I would need to use both the associative and the commutative property. Now this was using addition. You try one using multiplication. Please pause the video at this time to practice this problem. First thing you need to do is get rid of the parentheses. Then I need to get, sorry, that's not a very nice looking 5. Then I need to get the 8 and the 5 next to each other. And then I'm going to group those two together so that I can solve this to become 40 times x. And you'll notice that I got rid of the multiplication sign because when I write 40x, it's the same as 40 times x. All right, now let's use the expression 3 plus 4 plus 5. Using the commutative property, to change this around, all I'm going to do is change the order. So this would be 3 plus 5 plus 4. Would be one example of how I could change this using the commutative property. If I wanted to use the associative property, keep in mind, I'm not going to change the order, I'm just going to change the numbers. I'm sorry, I'm going to change the grouping. That means I'm going to go 3 plus, and then I will put the 4 plus 5 in parentheses. It's important that you understand that both of these end up equaling 12. When you add these together, you get 7, plus 5 is 12. Down here, you would add these first and get 9, plus 3 is 12. Thank you for watching the video.